Okay, hello, welcome to the stream. My name is Milo, and my pronouns are they, them. And this week, there is a special guest on the stream. You can see her hands right now.
Hello.
Who are you?
I'm Sir Cathy, my pronouns are she, her.
Sick. And by the way, happy Trans Day of Visibility. Shout out to all the trans and gender diverse folks out there. Okay, that's set up. You can look at chat on that if you like, if you can see it past the tripod. Yeah, so we thought it would be fun on sort of April Fool's Day to do a live demonstration of some knitting software. And Captain's here in chat, hello. It's not actually April Fool's Day here anymore, but it will be in America if you're watching this. Okay, so we've got two primary bits of software to focus on today on the Famicom disk system. What? Oh, I guess it has the same menu, or the same like title screen. This is the Mario version. So Royal is a company that makes, well...
So, they're a bit of an odd chicken company. They made kind of like hobby stuff. So they made yarn, they made knitting needles, they made some patterns, they made knitting machines, but I don't think for very long. They only made a couple, and not like... there's different levels of knitting machines. I would say they made like toy level knitting, well, just a bit up from toy level knitting machines, so for like tweens, marketed towards kids. And they made some software, including this thing that I have, which is called a CalcuKnit, which is a calculator specifically for doing knitting calculations, so like calculating your decreases and stuff in your garments. Yeah, this one is a rebranded because when they were sold outside Japan, they were sold under the Brother or Kuroma brands, but in Japan they were always made by Royal.
Yeah. Captain has noticed this chunky sheep, or ram. This is the mascot of the company.
Yeah.
Of Royal. Now, I have to remember, because it says B men or seto shite kudasai. You have to set side B on the Famicom disk.
Oh.
And I don't remember the key to do that. Is that Midna making a fuss?
I don't think so. I think it's a dog.
Oh, okay.
There's been a dog whining all day. How to use the Famicom disk system.
Is terrible. Here's the FDS options. Maybe it's in... Yeah. Here we go. Switch disk side. I think that's R2.
Or W on the keyboard?
Maybe it's L2. Can you hit W? Okay, I pressed start and it worked, so that's fine. So yeah, you might have heard of I Am a Teacher, Super Mario Sweater. This is a bit of software designed to facilitate the creation of Mario-themed knitting patterns. Alright, let's try and see what this says. Hamanaka. Oh, Hamanaka. That's the name we saw on some website as possibly the developer of this game. This bit here says Teami, which means...
Hand knitted, and then the last character there is thread.
Okay. Famicom character knit pattern. Okay. We also read that you might have been able to send off to the company to get them to make custom jumpers.
Yeah.
Alright, I guess they're not going to give you a preview of the pattern, so I'm just going to pick number 1.
Okay, so we're going to
What
enter
the
the
heck?
gauge.
Okay.
So the first one is the number of stitches across, and then we've got the number of rows down.
Uh-huh.
And then it's going to be the measurements for the garment. So the first one is going to be our number of stitches. Let's just randomly guess at that number being 18. So can you go up a bit?
Okay.
Okay. And let's go for 25 as the row count. Great.
Okay.
I think that's going to be the length because
Sure.
that's
Get a dictionary
not
out.
going to be the width. Height. Oh, so this is like the person's height?
Maybe.
The length of the garment. I mean, 1.2 meters would be a long jumper. Maybe it's the length. Okay, let's leave that as default.
Mm-hmm.
And then
That's chest measurement. the next
chest measurement. Ah, so I think this must be set for a child.
one. Not surprising.
Yeah, so it's 120 centimeters tall, a 60 centimeter chest, and a 34 centimeter length.
I saw a magazine advert for this game that had a child.
Printed on the outside. Can we get it to go up to 160 centimeters tall?
Oh, no.
What, we can't adjust the height?
Oh, sorry, this one. I can go up to 150.
Okay. And then we want to add... we want that to be about 110.
That's as far as it goes.
Okay, that's the biggest it goes. Okay, let's make the largest size.
This is sleeve size.
Sleeve size. I don't know. Sure, looks good.
Well, everything else is maximum.
Okay.
Oh, and that only goes that one. Alright.
Okay, this really is for kids' sizes.
Machi, Gaina, Kareba, Hitsuji. Oh, it's like move the shape
Yeah.
and press OK. The start button. Okay. Oh, look at it go. So is this how much yarn you're going to need?
I guess so.
It's a fair bit.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.5 balls. Yeah, that sounds about right. 9.5 50-gram balls.
I'm worried about, like,
small
we
size?
didn't select a pattern, we just picked a number, right? Maybe there was a manual that told you what the patterns were.
Yeah.
Because the cover art for this game, which I'm not displaying on stream because that's the sequel cover art, has a picture of a Mario jumper that's just like the Super Mario Bros. 1 sprite. So that's probably the default.
So we're making a front, a back, a sleeve, and a collar.
And we can select which one you want to do.
Okay. I mean, my plan, a very vague plan, was to attempt to do it at 1/10 size, but we'll see how much instruction we actually get. Let's start with the front.
Yeah, so this is sort of instructional knitting software as well as being... like
Okay, so it's just giving you the diagram. Okay.
There might be more. I'm pressing start to advance through these screens.
Now it's black.
Famicom disk system has loading times, I guess. Oh, it returned me here.
Returned you to here.
Is that all it does?
So it just shows you the pattern. What about the tile?
That's return to title.
Oh, okay. Well, where do we get the picture?
Let's have a look at this screen. I don't have a fast forward key set up to get through these loading screens, but I've got a profile for that Enjoy to key. Hold on a second. Ooh. Okay, now I've got a hotkey to fast forward.
Oh, okay, cool.
So, what's this? Tansu. Circle R. What's 1 to 122 are?
Rows 1
Tie.
to 122.
Okay.
So that's telling you.
Oh, and you're on the 0th row now.
Yeah. So can you like press
Captain's
up,
looking
down?
up instructions first.
Oh! This is, yes. So this looks more like the software, like it's going to count the rows for us. And it's got, this looks like it's for a knitting machine, not for hand knit.
So you said Royal Maid knitting machines.
Yeah. So this looks like the software almost that was on that Nintendo knitting machine.
Okay.
You going to show the picture?
Yeah, this is great stuff. So Howard Phillips shared this on Facebook at a certain point. This was a flyer that Nintendo made up for a trade show.
They showed it at CES 1989, I think.
And it was intended for like retailers or somebody.
So Howard gave a demo to like to I think Toys R Us or something like that of this machine.
And this is the only evidence that this ever existed. They never went ahead with the product. But you're saying that what's shown on the screen here, this is the only view we have of the software that they'd made. But this seems similar to...
Yeah, and if you look at that...
Yeah, it does, doesn't
it? It really does. And if you look at the knitting machine here, it's the only button it's set up to press on the controller is that A or B?
That's A.
Is A.
Hey, April.
So what's going to happen is when you knit the row, it's going to press the A button to progress the machine, the pattern on the console.
Okay, so yeah, we weren't sure what this was before, but this might be a version of Super Mario Sweater, I Am a Teacher. Which, by the way, we thought might be a pun, because amu is to knit. Mm-hmm. It's the verb to knit.
Knitting or crochet, same word.
So I amu a teacher, like, is a bit of a weird name, but it might be a pun. Anyway.
So it's going to hit the A button in the same way as like a proper, like my big brother knitting machine would hit the row counter. So it's just a piece of plastic that like goes along and just flips a switch backwards and forwards. In this case, it's going to hit an A button.
So do you think Super Mario Sweater was designed to be used with knitting machines then?
Maybe. Let's have a look through this knitting pattern a bit. Let's see how we can control it.
Hold on, one more note on this. If you look closely, you can see a Nintendo logo on this knitting machine.
Oh, yeah.
But you thought you recognized the model of machine itself.
Yeah. So it looked similar to this machine. So it's slightly different. Like you can see the handle's different, the logo's different, the colors are different. But it has the same plastic needles, which are kind of unusual. Normally you'd have metal needles in a knitting machine, and it's got a similar size bed. Like it's small, but not like toy tiny. And you can see on this picture there's like a little girl
and of course
playing with it.
It's made by Royal, the company who developed the Super Mario Sweater software. Here's another view of it from an Instagram post. And this is all research you basically did, right?
Yeah, last night.
Pretty good stuff.
When someone had linked in my machine knitting group saying that the white whale of knitting machines was the Nintendo knitting machine. And I reckon it's a version of this one by Royal. And I reckon the software was probably an English language version of this software.
So if this software is for a knitting machine, can you also do hand knitting with it?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Okay. Do you want to try that, or do you want to do it with the other one?
I think the other one would be more useful as like a learn to knit thing, but I'm happy to have a look through this one.
We can advance and see what
happens. Let's have an advance. Let's see if we can navigate around and see what happens.
Captain's asking the vertical and horizontal lines, what do they mean?
Good question. Normally they'd mean knit and purl, so this would be like a rib, but this is like fancy stitch pattern. You're also right that you could do this for different colours.
It seemed to be inverting each time you advance, or no?
Is it?
It's just going up.
Yeah, it's just going up the screen. Is it?
No, it's reversing. See this pattern down here?
Oh, so it is expecting you to hand knit this then.
Right.
Because it's expecting you to knit back and forth, so it's showing you knit and purl in the opposite directions as you flip the fabric.
I can go back as well by pressing B.
Ah.
But the idea is that you would have this software open as you're knitting. And it would tell you which stitches to do at what time until you press A to go to the next row.
Yep.
Cool. Do you think that's more useful than a regular written pattern?
I prefer this kind of diagram to words. It's very common in Japanese knitting to get diagrams like this instead of having a written out pattern. But I know a lot of people prefer having it written out as like...
what you're doing is not on camera.
Oh, sorry. I'm just casting on. It's not very exciting.
This one moves. Whoop.
Yep. That one? Is that better? Sorry.
Oh, by the way, if I may.
Oh, cat cam.
Cat cam.
Evidence of cat.
Hello, Midna. Meow. Oh, she's coming over.
Oh no.
She wants to look at the yarn.
She wants to look at the camera.
Oops.
Oops.
It's come loose. Okay. Cat cam.
Awkward cat. Now she's just taking up all the camera. Yes.
Hello.
You are very important, Midna. Yes, you are. We all love you. We do. We do love you. Everyone loves a kitty cat. Okay, I'll let you go.
So Captain asked if this is a pattern or would it just be one colour?
So I think that this is a textured pattern, so that you're gonna get like shapes but in a texture with one colour rather than with two at the moment. So what I can see at the moment is like chevrons and blocks. I can't see, and then stripes. Yeah, so I don't think this is a Mario design.
I'm interested in maybe scooting through some of the other patterns and see if we can notice a difference.
Yeah, let's see if we can find a one with a smaller.
I know you haven't done much live knitting, and that was like the whole gimmick here. Sorry about that.
That's okay. That's okay.
April asks, is this a common pattern? Is this a common format for knitting patterns? She's much more familiar with crochet patterns, which look very different.
I would say it's a common format for Japanese patterns. So if you're familiar with crochet patterns, you might be familiar with the fact that you can get written crochet patterns or diagrams. And similarly for knitting, you can get written or diagrams, and that's what the knitting diagrams look like.
Oh, I can fast forward. Oh.
Midna, do you need to participate in all of this?
Oh, here we go.
Ah, so
This
now
one.
we've got colour work. So now this is just stripes.
Stitches,
yeah, so this is going to be knit, pearl. So this is just stockinette.
Oh yeah, look.
Yeah.
This one's inverting completely.
Completely. Yeah, so the other one was textured and this is stripes.
Right. It's very slow. Floppy disk system. Can drop a save state. Error?
Oh.
Oh yeah, maybe the save state messes with the disk system. Hold on.
Oh.
Oh.
Error 7.
Oh, is that because the save state button is the same button that's mapped to switch floppy disk side? I can remedy that.
Oh, okay.
Got error 1 and error 7. Okay, here we go. Fixed it. Okay. Oh, this one's a vest.
A vest. A V-neck vest.
What's this pattern look like?
And this is another textured one. So we're getting like a moss stitch, and then we're getting... Oh, it's a big star sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Presumably somewhere in here there are Mario characters. But we
You would
haven't
think
got to
so.
them yet.
No,
There's
this
definitely
is
pictures
like...
of them on Mario Wiki.
This is very classic, like, traditional knitting patterns.
Oh, Captain coming in clutch again. He's doing some research live with us here. Pattern 5 onwards has characters. 5 is a rabbit and 6 is a cat. And 7 onwards has Nintendo characters. Alright, we can skip ahead to that.
Yeah.
So you said there's a cat. That seems appropriate. Another vest, but with sleeves. Wait, that's...
That's a jumper. This is the same as the first one.
A vest with sleeves. A unique and innovative new clothing type that I've invented. Oh. Oh.
Okay. How do we go sideways?
Oh!
That
very
makes
wide.
sense.
So if we advance a few rows up. Oh, I think I see a tail.
Yep.
I wonder what it does with these patterns if you make the height bigger. Does it just add buffer rows or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Ooh, an elegant cat neck.
Oh gosh, I'm so inept at knitting on camera. These needles are a bit long. Hold on.
Okay.
Let me switch to my circulars. I think that
no,
nobody
beautiful.
used in the 80s.
It's a cat.
It is indeed a cat.
So 7 onwards is all Nintendo characters. That's interesting. Oh, Midna's come back and she's sitting on my computer. Hello. So you're the cause of all those dusty paw prints on my tower, huh?
Yes, she is.
What a little scamp. Okay, so this... Oh, I think I know who that is. Oh, wait. It's Mario with 3 legs. Oh no.
It's just
3
Mario's
Marios.
face.
Why is it 3 Marios?
You're gonna have 3 Marios on your jumper, don't you know?
It's the Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
Along with the missing Mario brother, Bruno, who is from, like, the unofficial, what was it, the Intellivision port of Donkey Kong? More Mario Brothers. Okay. Well, that's the thing. So there were a few colours involved there. Is that difficult to knit in?
It depends on how they organize the colors. So you don't want to have too many, and it also depends on how you're going to knit them. So let's have a look at another one. So this has got big blocks of color. That usually means we're going to do intarsia. So we're going to have a different ball for each block. So that means, or each block in the same row. So if you see like how there's 3 blocks of blue, like in the middle in his shirt, there would be 3 blocks of blue. You'd need 3 separate balls.
I believe this is Ouija.
And then you twist the yarns together when you change between the different colours. Yeah. It would be mildly annoying to do that. It looks very much like it's designed for like accuracy to the character rather than ease of knitting.
Yeah, they are faithfully replicating sprites, I feel like. Do you want to look at all of them? Captain's recommending 10 and 14.
Okay, let's have a look at 10 and 14. Then we can move on to the learn to knit.
Yeah, and then actually do some knitting.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's bricks.
Oh. See, this I would do as stranded colour work, so carrying both colours across rather than having a separate ball for like each brick. And then you're going to switch to doing
Looks like
separate
Fire
balls.
Mario up here. So a bit more detail up here. The fireball in Mario.
Very classic Mario Brothers looks.
That giant schnoz. Yeah, not bad.
Yeah. It is a bit of a challenge though, because you might have noticed that the pixels, quote unquote, in the design aren't square. Because knitting is generally a 4:3 aspect ratio. Depends a bit on the person knitting, but...
Ooh, this one's a cardigan.
Ooh. And yeah, these really are just patterns. They're not giving you any instructions on, like, are you, like, what kind of rib do you want? Oh, it's, peach?
Princess Toadstool. Pretty cute in that it's two halves of an open cardigan. Peach will be on one and presumably Mario's on the other. So you can close it up and they'll join up and then, yeah.
Cute.
That's what Captain's saying. We can go over and look at that one actually.
Look at the other side. Oh, this one's got like a texture.
Yeah, the other one had that at the bottom as well.
Oh, okay. It's just white? It's just... Wait! Nope, there's something. What's there? It's
A flower?
a flower. It's gonna be like a flower on the chest.
It's a piranha plant.
Oh.
Or pakun flower. And this is more like a badge on the chest. Like a logo. That's interesting. So it's not Mario and Peach together.
No, you'd have to steal a Mario from a different pattern. It's interesting. I wonder if these are all like pre-programmed in, or if it's calculating them. Like they're probably lookup tables. So that's kind of the lazy programmer's way to do stuff.
So there is an option here. Maya no Tsuzuki. Continue from before. Does that just load up the last one you were looking at? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So there's no like customization or design in this. It's just a set of pre-made patterns.
Yeah. You can customize the size a little bit, but that's it.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. Just checking 15. Looks like Starman repeating. Yep. Do you want to do some knitting?
Yeah, let's pick the learn to knit one. I think that's cool content, but like it's not the easiest way to access these patterns.
So Royal did that, program in collaboration with Nintendo. And then afterwards they released a subsequent software, which is called I Am a Teacher, Teami no Kiso, which means the basics of hand knitting. So much more like a tutorial on how to knit, I think. So we've got two options here. Hajimete Amu, start knitting from the start, or again, Maya no Tsuzuki, to continue what you're already doing. So let's start from the start and see what happens. And yeah, we'll see how different this is in its instructions. So, Teami no Kiso, that's the subtitle appearing now. And, what's this? Amikata no Kiso. Is that right?
Yeah, so I think it's learn to knit or make a sweater.
Oh, cool. So you want to knit?
Let's start with learn to knit.
And you already know how to knit, so we're going to be assessing the quality of this as a learn to knit thing.
Yep.
You've done that before. You've got a few YouTube videos about
Crochet, though,
about
mainly.
crochet kits and how good they are at actually teaching you to crochet.
The answer is generally not very good.
Check that out at So Cathy Eyes. Is that the name for your channel?
I don't remember.
What's the subtitle for that series? You did a logo for it.
Yeah, craft something.
Very bad at promoting.
Look, I haven't made a video in several years. Okay. So let's just say that I have done it in the past. So we're gonna.
But as for knitting, Captain's asking how long have you been knitting? Just a few years.
Just a few years. I started crocheting at the start of the pandemic. And then I learnt to knit when I realised I don't like to wear crochet garments.
And then you got a knitting machine, which is much bigger than the one that we showed before.
Yes.
Oh, can we show them my jumper?
Oh yeah, sure.
So Cathy made this jumper for me on the knitting machine. Oh.
Flip camera.
It's made of wool, and it is in the colours of the non-binary pride flag. Pretty sweet. And it has really long sleeves, which I love. I love covering my hands over with them. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so this is a knitting program, but it's starting with crochet. It's coming loose.
Yeah, this bit, it's not gripping it enough.
How do you...
That
one up?
There we go. And then push it back in, and then screw it on. Technical difficulties. Okay.
Yeah, so it's starting with crochet. Why is that?
Yeah, so there's a couple of different ways to start your knitting. So the way that I was taught is, so you can cast on in lots of different ways. What I was doing before is called thumb and finger cast on. So you basically go, oops, I did my slip knot the wrong way. But you basically go like this. So you're making a loop over your thumb and then putting it on here. It makes a shape kind of like a letter E. And then you put that on the needles. It's also sometimes called an E-wrap cast on because of that E shape. There's lots of different ways to do a cast on. Depending on what you're making, you might do a different type. This pattern is calling for a crochet cast on, which means we start by making a chain in crochet. So someone said before that they know how to crochet.
Oh yeah.
This is the very basic way to start crocheting.
In fact, April's saying the feeling of learning to crochet and then afterward learning that you don't actually enjoy wearing crochet garments is extremely relatable.
Yes!
Captain was also asking about needles with an attached loop. I think you might mean the crochet hook. Oh no.
No, this one.
Yeah,
so
okay.
I've got two kinds of knitting needles here. This one is the very traditional straight knitting needle. It's a bit long to fit in the camera.
Now you can see it pretty better.
Thanks. And this is probably what you're thinking of when you're thinking of a knitting needle. This one is a circular knitting needle. So it's got both, it works the same way. You've got two sticks, but the sticks are joined by a string in the middle. And that means that you don't lose them. They're held together, but you can also work in the round circular. So you can essentially work in a spiral by just going round and then doing the equivalent of starting the next row with the other end of a straight needle. So you can get double pointed needles, which are straight needles with 2 points on them. You can get straight needles, which have 1 point and one knob. And then you can get circular needles, which have a string joining them together.
So I'm just going to turn down the microphone a bit because we're peeking it.
Oh, okay,
We're
sure.
talking a bit differently than normal. Let's see how that looks.
So Yeah.
So the microphone is like attached to the desk, so like contact with the desk.
Oh, is making it noisy.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I think it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So this one is starting with a crochet cast on, which is, as any crocheter knows, just a basic chain, and then we're going to take the chain off and knit into, usually you knit into the back loops of the crochet chain, but you can knit into any part of it, really.
So the instructions there say kusari ami. What does that mean?
I don't know what kusari means.
Dictionary.
Ami is knit.
Yep.
So,
Do I need to advance the instructions?
yeah, let's advance the instructions.
Kusari is chain.
Ah. So, make a chain. Okay. That's showing you how to make the chain.
How do I... It's just these three.
Yeah.
I press start. Okay, cool.
Okay, and now we're gonna learn to knit into the chain. This is gonna be hard mode because I'm left-handed. And also they're starting from the other end of the chain. How'd they finish their chain?
I think they're
what?
leaving out some steps here.
I think they are. So if you've ever picked up stitches in knitting, using a crochet chain as a cast on works the same way. So we're just going through each loop and then yarn over the needle to pick up the stitches. Doing a crochet chain cast on, what are the advantages? I guess it's easier to get an even tension if you struggle to get an even tension on a knit cast on. Like if you find yourself wrapping the yarn around the knitting needle too tight, you can't really do that with a crochet chain. The disadvantage is that you have to know how to crochet, which not so many people know both these days.
Ooh.
Okay, I think I've made it through all those steps.
These instructions seem pretty basic, or like they assume that you already know how to do some of these things, maybe.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like it's teaching you, but also not teaching you.
Again, maybe there were printed materials that came with this that might have had more detailed instructions.
Yeah, but it's a bit weird because, like, you can get, and I have, books that teach you how to knit. They've been making them since the 20s. What's the advantage of having this animation with your knitting book? That you then have to also own a Famicom disk system
Wow.
to access.
I guess you already bought one of those so your kids could play Metroid.
Okay. So now we're actually knitting. So I assume this is a knit stitch. Yeah, that's a purl, not a knit. We're starting with a purl stitch. Okay, I can start with a purl stitch if you want.
So it says ura at the top, which I think might mean opposite side.
Oh.
Or top end.
Yeah.
It's difficult because that bit is not in kanji.
So this is purling, so you're putting the needle through, wrapping the yarn around the needle, and then pushing it back. They're not really showing you what to do with your hands here. The floating red ball is not as helpful as you might think.
Yeah, I thought before that was motion of the needle, but now it seems like it's motion of the thread.
Yeah, it's showing you where the thread goes.
I guess it's just motion.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would not want to try and learn to knit from this.
And why is so much of it already done below that?
Well, they're just showing you, like, how... So this is, like, how to form the stitches.
Right.
So this is how to do a purl stitch. Which... Okay.
Shall I advance?
Let's advance.
Okay.
What's next? We're going to get a knit stitch? I feel like we kind of learnt them out of order. Normally you start with... Yep, we're getting a knit stitch.
Omote. Gotta look these up every time. They're like technical terms.
Yeah.
Surface or face?
Yeah. So the front stitch. It's like the front stitch and the back stitch. So we learnt purl before knit.
That does look like the front.
Mm.
You've often noted that I own a jacket that's like...
One of the pieces
knitted.
seems to be on backwards.
Well, it's the whole front, isn't it?
Yeah.
The pattern is what you would expect to see if it was inside out, but it's actually supposed to be like that.
Yep.
It's weird.
Now I can do a knit stitch. Yeah, put the needle in, yarn over the needle, pull the needle around, put the needle in, yarn over the needle, pull it through. I would not want to learn from this terrible, terrible animation. I recommend
This is what I learned.
that these days, YouTube is a much better way to learn this kind of thing.
But we didn't have that at the time.
No, but even so, I feel like a book would be easier.
But there have been TV shows that taught you to knit, you know.
No.
Variety programming in Japan can get pretty niche, so maybe.
Okay, let's go to the next. What's next?
Next. That's it.
That's it.
You've now mastered the art of knitting.
I've mastered knitting. I feel like there's some more things I might want to know in order to make a sweater.
Well, let's find out. We're going to make a sweater. Sweater. Oh, this is familiar.
This is the same pattern thing.
But we haven't picked a pattern, so this is just like default, I guess.
Yeah.
We'll see what it tells us to do with stitches. So do we want to change anything? Or just...
Let's just leave it as is.
Okay.
Kid size.
April says, I truly think that Fibrecrafts are infinitely harder to learn if you don't have someone in the room teaching you.
Yeah, I think it is harder. The problem I faced was that I was taught by my sister, who taught me to do it wrong, because she learnt off YouTube.
She did it backwards, right? Or...
So, she taught me to crochet like you knit. I'll see if I can crochet how I used to crochet. I then went and watched YouTube videos to learn how to do it correctly, because I couldn't cope. Disc error.
I'm just mashing the disc change buttons, I don't know. Yeah, okay, I think I figured it out now. No, that's wrong.
I got a chain. This will be entertaining for the...
It's W, right?
Yeah. For the person on the chat who knows how to crochet, this will look weird once I get a chain up.
Is that because you're doing it wrong?
Yeah.
Well, you know, quote unquote wrong. It works.
So it works. I'm going to show you how I learnt to crochet. So, yarn in, round. I don't know. So I'm going... Normally when you crochet, you would have the yarn in this hand and wrap it around the needle like this. Like, makes sense, right? One hand for the hook, one hand for the yarn. But I learnt to do it both in the same hand and stretching over, which is the way that it's called English knitting, if you do that when you're knitting. I don't knit this way, and I learnt to crochet this way first.
Yeah, there are differences in technique and terminology between Europe and America and other
Yes, definitely. So, if you are from Europe or the UK...
April says, this is surreal. I've never seen anyone crochet like this.
I told you I learned to crochet weird. That is a double crochet. So basically, an American double crochet is a British treble crochet. An American single crochet is a British double crochet, and a British single crochet would be called, most of the time, a slip stitch by Americans, but it can sometimes refer to some other stitches. So yeah, I crochet like a weirdo, but I can also crochet like a normal person.
Dorekara, Amukawa, Select or button. There.
Ah, so this is a super
Matara.
basic.
Start button. Yeah, so the front and
Sweater
back
pattern.
panels are the same,
Same.
pattern here. Ushiro and Maya.
And we're just gonna do, it's just got ribbing across the neck rather than having like a curved or a V neckline. So this is what I would call, yes, the most basic type of jumper pattern.
But how do you adjust that? The front and back panels should be different, right?
Oh, they don't have to be.
Okay, I think... Yeah, on this one you do actually have to press start to advance, whereas on the previous game, pressing start took you back to the menu. So what's this about?
So this is telling you where the rib is and where the main garment is.
What's garment mean in this context? Probably not gum.
No.
Well, oh, and I don't know. Let's see what happens next.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
So this is teaching you how to do a cable, I guess?
Yes, this really is instructional. This is cool. Much
So I'm
different to
gonna
the previous game.
take them off and put them on to a stitch holder. Okay.
You don't have stitch holders like that, do you?
No, I don't do cable work.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Should we go to the next stitch? I don't know how to... I can't really demonstrate how to do that.
Oh, I'm selecting which one to demonstrate.
Oh.
So this one will be for the main body of it, but then this one will be for the edging. And this bit is different for the hem at the bottom and at the collar.
Yeah, so that's doing the rib, and then that's the edging. Huh.
Alright, let's see what it says. Ooh, a needle.
Ah, so this is how you're going to bind off. So you're going to do a sewn bind off.
There's just not much context.
Yeah.
Or, like, you know, written instructions.
Yeah.
You
It's
kind of have to piece things together.
I feel like this is something you would need someone's guidance on. Yeah. I mean, that is a sewn bind off. It will bind off your stitches.
Okay. So the arrows mean you're doing this at the start and the end? Because it's like, it splits there and points at the top and bottom.
Yeah, so on the ribbing you're doing a sewn bind off, and then the thing we looked at first is what you're doing for the shoulder bind off, which is putting them on stitch holders.
Oh, and this is the stitch you do for the main body of it. Like the duration of the main panel. So this is for the top and the bottom segments. Again, I'm getting all the words wrong. Ooh, omote.
Are we joining a new yarn?
Surface.
This just looks like a normal knit.
So that's face. Oh boy. Oh, face and reverse.
Okay. We're doing stockinette for the body, sure.
What's stockinette?
Stockinette is where you do knit into knit and purl into purl. So that's the like most basic standard fabric. If you look at any t-shirt you're wearing, almost any jumper, it'll be stockinette, which is just that plain fabric, no texture.
Hmm.
If you're going back and forth like you have to on straight needles, you'll do knit in one direction and purl in the other direction, unless you change from doing it left-handed to right-handed, which is the other option. You could knit left-handed and then knit right-handed.
Does your sister do that?
Yes, my sister does do that.
She's ambidextrous.
Yes. I cannot do that.
Alright, here's the final one.
Is this going to teach us how to rib?
I don't know.
Oh no, this is the other kind of binder?
This was at like the edge between the bottom section and the main section. Hodoku.
This is like reversing the bind off.
Hodoku means to undo or untie.
Yeah, so it's like untying the bound off fabric.
Why would you do that?
I cannot imagine why you would do that. Why have you bound off and then joining on? Literally no idea.
You're a bit off camera.
Oh, sorry.
Alright. Oh, it's Hidoi. It's set at the top. Spacious, vast, wide.
Okay.
Okay. So, are you all up to speed now?
I guess so.
So the options are save and seizu e modoru.
Let's try that one.
Okay. Seizu, draft or drawing. So that's this.
Oh, yeah. So this is back to this.
Yeah, return to this.
Start. Oh, start button.
Start button returns to menu.
So this is just a.
Or
This is a very. This is a terrible way to learn to knit. I could write a how to knit book better than this, and I just knit into a purl stitch by accident.
right, start button takes you to this menu is what it's saying. So if we go finish, that takes you here, and then you can learn about sleeves, shall we?
This is so weird. Oh, so this is the actual chart.
So this was an option too.
Okay.
Hold on. I can probably... Yeah, it's also got similar instructions for the different stages of a sleeve. But if I go here and then... No, it doesn't...
I guess because it's...
I don't know how to get to that mode here.
I think there isn't that mode because it's not shaped and there's no pattern.
Oh, there's
You
no
don't-
need to go step by step like that. Okay.
Because you're not increasing or decreasing, it's just the same the whole time. It's a big old rectangle.
So this is the sleeve then,
Yep.
where you would need to know,
When to add stitches in.
yeah,
So you can see
how many there are.
you're starting at the edge and then adding in one every 6 rows. 2 every 6 rows.
But
Sorry.
you have to like go back and forth between these two views.
Yeah.
It would be nice if you could center the view. Yeah, it's pretty plain again.
It's just stockinette all the way up, plain stitching. I was gonna try and do a 1/10 scale model, but I'm not sure it is that interesting. to do a square.
What have you made so far?
I have just made some stuff and then pulled it apart. This is 3 rows of stockinette, so we could pretend this is the body of a sweater. Let me see if I can show you how knitting is supposed to go English style. Or go in, and around, and out. Oh my gosh! No, we go back to continental style.
So this is the edge of the sleeve where it changes length.
Let's see. I think they're showing you how to do an increase. So this is how to get another stitch where you didn't have one before. So you would have noticed that in that pattern it was getting bigger and bigger. And in order to do that you have to pick up, well, there's a few different ways to do it, but the easiest way is to pick up one of the bars between stitches and make a stitch into that. As you can see, this is possibly one of the few diagrams in this game that is actually good.
Let's see some of the other ones for the sleeve. If there's any other good instructions. So that's just going to be the same, right? Left and right, it's similar.
Oh, they're going to tell you how to do it in the other direction?
Is it very different?
No.
You getting sick of this little jingle yet?
Yes, very much so. As you can see, they're picking up the bar in between and putting in a stitch on the bar in between. Yep. Oh, they have twisted the bar. That's about the only thing that's different, so that it closes up a bit.
Just for completion, I'll check the other instructionals on the sleeve section.
What's this? I'm gonna knit a stitch. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Oh, knit 2 together, cast off. Uh-huh. No, we're not knitting 2 together. Yes, we are doing knit 2 together, cast off. Okay. Cool. Yep, you should indeed cast off your knitting and don't just pull it off the needles or it will fall apart. And again, how to undo your cast off. Why are you undoing your cast off? Why?
If you make a mistake?
In the cast off? If you got to the point of casting off and you found a mistake before, it's too late. We're not fixing that. It's over. Okay. Is this joining a new ball of yarn again?
I don't know.
This is just knitting. This is casting off?
Is this the
What
same
are we doing? Let's skip ahead.
I can press A to advance, actually.
This is just knitting.
Yeah. We
okay.
saw that before, I think.
Yep.
But it's got similar instructions replicated for the sleeve section.
Yeah. They're going to tell us how to do a rib?
Ooh.
No, this is just binding off in rib. Sew and bind off. Yep.
So rib seems important to this, but it hasn't told us how to do it, is that right?
Yeah. I mean, it's not hard to do. Like, if you look at this picture, you can see it's knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl. But you can do a different amount of knits and purls. So you can do, this is 1 by 1. You could do 2 by 2. You could do 3 by 3. You could do 1 by 3. Normally, a pattern will tell you which one they want you to do. This one just seems to assume you're going to do a 1 by 1 rib. Is that it?
I think that's it.
Are we going to get making up? Are they going to tell us how to sew it together? Oh, they are going to tell us how to sew it together. Nice.
Meriyasu. Huggy. Trying to figure out what that is. Shank. Lower leg. Is huggy. Oh, tear off or peel off. Huggy.
Cool. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh.
Sorry.
Meriyasu. Knitting, hosiery, knitted goods. Oh, Meriyasu Ami stockinette. It's obviously a loan word that's been applied to that process.
Yes.
Where is it from?
Sorry for the collapse here. Just trying to give you a view of what I see.
Including the string preview. Can you angle it down a bit?
There we go.
So what's this telling you? How to join the two together.
Yeah.
Sleeve to jumper to main panel.
Yeah, so this is when you've got two shoulders and they both got live stitches because you can see you've got two needles there. And this is just sewing them together. Oh, I guess it's grafting them together. Yeah, this is grafting them together. So you're essentially using a needle to make knitting type stitches to join the two pieces of fabric together. The other time, I mean, I would never bother on a shoulder. I'd just cast off and sew them together. But you would do this typically on the toe of a sock, where you don't want a bulky seam.
Okay. Then there's this.
So this is sewing the sleeve to the body, so you've got stitches going in two different directions here. Because the sleeve is going, well, hopefully everyone knows that your arms are at 90 degrees to your body.
Only if you're T-posing.
Yeah, well, your jumper is always T-posing. Okay, this is like tolerable. This is useful, unlike the knitting videos. Quote unquote videos.
Animations.
Yeah. Okay, and then this is mattress stitch, also known as how to sew two seams together. If you want a flatter seam, you can sew in the gap within the first row of stitches, but it won't be as tight. This kind of seam will leave like a bit of bulk, because you can see that there's like a row of knitting inside that seam that's getting caught in the middle, and so you're gonna be able to feel that on the inside. When you graft like you did on the shoulders, you won't be able to feel that. But having that on your body is not a big deal if it's like along the sides of your body or whatever.
Could be a bit itchy.
Yeah, how's yours?
Well, I wear stuff over this, but the
Yeah.
sleeves are fine.
Yeah. So you can avoid having those seams by knitting in the round, which is what you can do on these string together needles. You can knit the whole way around the body and make it one big spiral that starts at your bum and goes all the way around up to your underarms.
So how is this one different?
This looks the same. Oh no, that one was joining rib to rib. So it's it just looks slightly different because you've got different stitches.
This is obviously a technical term.
Yeah, that must be 1x1 rib. That must be the Japanese word for 1x1 rib.
Do you think if you invested in this game, you would also be subscribed to something like Cotton Time, your favorite Japanese
Sewing
crafts
magazine. Well, they do some knitting sometimes. I feel like, I don't know, I'm really not sure who the audience for this is, right? Like, if you're... Okay. I'm imagining a group of men, because it would have been men, sitting around a boardroom trying to work out, like, young housewife, what does she want to learn? Like, her kid has a Famicom, let's make something for her to use on the Famicom. Oh, she'd like to learn to knit. Like, the other one was at least, like, knitting patterns. Like, if you know how to knit already, you could work with it. But I feel like this is not very good knitting instructions content.
I was just going to say about the intended audience, we can maybe look at the cover art. So this is the Mario version. Mario looks so funny and chubby. It's kind of stretched. But this version, Teami no Kiso, is... hold on. Looks like this.
Yeah, like...
And this is the people that they're aiming the game at, I guess.
Yeah, not like young girls, I guess young women learning to knit. Yeah, I just feel like it wouldn't be a great way to learn to knit.
Alright, there's our judgment on I Am a Teacher, Teami no Kiso.
Yeah, I mean, thankfully these days we have so much YouTube to learn from that it's not really... No one needs a game. Although maybe that should be my next Game Boy game, is how to knit game.
Cathy also makes homebrew Game Boy games.
I've made one.
Studio.
I've made one.
Yes. One so far. Do you want to do the other thing?
Yeah, let's do the other thing.
Okay. So how is this related?
So, the company that made the previous game was also involved, and it's not exactly clear how much, in one further Nintendo software, which is for the Game Boy Color, specifically for the Game Boy Color that came with the Jaguar 2000, a sewing machine. That's right, it was a sewing machine that used a Game Boy to control what stitches you were making. It came with one cartridge. It came with the Game Boy Color and one cartridge.
I don't have a picture of this, but I really want to show what this looks like. Nope. Those are just normal sewing machines.
That's it there. Yeah.
But it does actually sit flush in this cavity.
Yeah, I don't know why they haven't got it in that picture, but it sits flat.
Do you know the model number? Had caps lock on by mistake.
Oh. You just put Game Boy.
Game Boy. Oh, look at that.
So there's the one.
Oh, so there was a kit that came with a Game Boy.
Yeah, it came with the Game Boy.
The Game Boy Color.
And the Game Boy Color matched the color of the machine.
That's awesome.
And it is just a regular sewing machine, and literally the cart it came with is just to pick from, like, mostly regular sewing stitches. You can do some custom stuff where you, like, pick fancy stitches or, like, other stuff. But you can also get it to do embroidery. And the game cartridge for embroidery.
This looks like a different game that went with the sewing machine.
Yeah. So there was a game with the sewing machine to do standard stitches. And then there were some additional games that came out to do other stuff, other embroidery stuff.
So I didn't download this on Roku Mission,
No.
but I did download Mario Family.
Which was made for this sewing machine by, we think, by Royal.
Yeah, so they might have been involved at some point in this process, but yeah, it's the only other Mario or Nintendo themed fiber textiles based video game.
Yeah.
Um,
And unfortunately, without the sewing machine, it's kind of limited. We would love. I would love to be able to show you this in real life, but I'm afraid I have a regular sewing machine and not a Game Boy sewing machine.
people saying this seems convenient since more people know how to develop the GBC these days than for a sewing machine.
Yeah.
So if you got your hands on a sewing machine and a Game Boy, on this model of sewing machine and the Game Boy to go with it, you could make your own software to make patterns or whatever.
Yeah. If you get
machines go out of date and people stop caring about developing for them.
Yeah, there are some standards for embroidery, like sewing machines with embroidery, so that you can put images on them, and some of them will take like SD cards and do like automatic digitalization, so automatic conversion to sewing stitches. But yeah, mine is not that fancy. I just have a basic sewing machine where you just press a button next to the type of stitch you would like.
Yeah, it's interesting to make a machine do a whole embroidery pattern for you. Because again, these are presets like in Mario's sweater. I also thought it was interesting in this era what they're drawing from. Like, this is what, 99 or something on the title screen? And it's like old school Wario, because they haven't got a new school Wario yet. There's one image of a Super Mario Land 2 Mario Bunny power up, and the rest of it is like Super Mario World stuff. Although I guess Yoshi with the star is like kind of Yoshi's Egg stuff, but yeah, like this is all Super Mario World baddies, including the best one, the dolphin. Not a baddie, but it's a dolphin.
Do you want to go into the dolphin then? And
Okay.
show them what it would look like if we had such a cool sewing machine.
It also tells you whether it's small or large in size, which is that other kanji on the bottom left of the pattern. So this is a large size one.
Okay. And we can pick a few different variations, like just the outline, the color.
Are these not like steps that it would go through with different thread colors?
Yeah, so it's going to do... Yes. So that's what it's going to do in total. And then the first one, it's going to do the blue background. And then it's going to do the white belly.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's going to do the red facial features. So it's going biggest pieces to smaller pieces.
And then the outline.
And then the outline.
Okay. So once you've picked a pattern you're happy with, you press A.
And then this is where you pick where it goes. Can you use like the D-pad to move it around?
No. Yes.
Okay, yeah.
You can offset it. That's denoted by that number. Wait. Oh, yeah, that's fine. I think, yeah, it's displayed properly. And then you pick. And then it says, do you want to do this? Or what's this? Layout. Layout?
Do you want to do the layout again?
Layout. Change layout or proceed with this one. So when you pick that, that's when the Game Boy starts sending instructions to the sewing machine. And as long as it's connected, it'll carry out those patterns.
Yep.
This is where our demonstration ends.
Because we do not have a sewing machine. Or I guess in theory you could emulate that, right? You could emulate the response through the Game Boy link cable.
I guess.
Because it just uses the link cable, right?
What a niche thing to try and homebrew. Has anyone done something like that with a Game Boy printer, I wonder? Let's see our boy. Oh yeah, many more steps because many more colors.
and you're gonna have to like change as you go the thread in the machine.
You would go through this step, tell it what to do, and then you change it yourself. Like, it doesn't tell you to do that. Or it might when
it will. Yeah, so it'll sew, and then it'll go beep beep, change color. So when you get the industrial embroidery machines, they can take lots of different cones of thread at the same time.
Color just for this tiny patch inside his ear.
That seems superfluous, but okay.
Yeah, you could simplify that easily.
I wonder what these look like embroidered, right? Because they're pixel art because it's Game Boy.
Again,
but then...
like you were saying before, it'll turn out in a different... The like stitches aren't square, basically.
They are for sewing. You can you can kind of make. They're very thin, and you can make them as long as you want. So you could get this shape, but it's not going to be pixely, right? It's going to be much more higher resolution than this picture is.
Wow, let's compare small Luigi to big Luigi.
They look the same.
I guess when you go to this size is different.
Yeah.
1310 and then 28.1. Yeah, I'm not really sure what the lines on the diagram are really.
Yeah, it must be something to do with the frame that you put into the machine. Because if you're familiar with a standard sewing machine, it's got like a normal bed, but then when you're doing embroidery, you put in a much bigger bed to replace it.
Oh, this is weird. It's like the Super Mario Bros. Theme in a minor key or something. Or like a harmony. It's a little bit off. Very strange. Anyway, how's Natsume involved with this? They're like a video game publisher.
Yeah.
Captain, we have assessed the quality of the knitting instruction software and found it wanting.
Yeah, it was not good.
We're doing a quick demonstration of the other Nintendo textile game. Oh, it's 2001. It's even later than I thought.
Yeah.
Which is Mario Family, which went with a sewing machine. You would plug a Game Boy Color into a sewing machine and send it instructions via the software.
There was one version that was available in the US, so anyone in the US, see if you can get it. Although that one didn't do embroidery, it was just a regular sewing machine.
Yeah, 2001 is edging up on WarioWare and the redesign and stuff. Although Wario already looked very different by that time because of Wario Land 3, like 2 and 3 changed his look, but you've got classic Wario in here. Sorry, I'm getting hung up on the Wario design. I just also thought it was strange there's like a Super Mario Land 2 image in 2001. Like, they'd long forgotten about it at that point. But yeah, there was that other software. I don't know if it's worth.
What other software?
The other cartridges that you could get.
Well, so the one that actually came with the sewing machine, you'll find extremely boring because it really is just picking stitches.
Right.
There might have been some other embroidery ones, but I don't know what they did.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are some YouTube videos where people have got this red sewing machine, the Jaguar, and used it successfully, which is pretty cool. Would you like any of those Mario sweaters?
The ones from the first game?
Yeah.
Not really.
No.
Like, it was nothing but Super Mario Brothers 1 sprites.
Yeah. I guess because of the era it's from.
And I don't like that style of sprite design. Okay, I've found some files for Raku X Raku. And there's 3 variants of it, actually. Now I'm curious to try them. Hey, Gibbons here. Yeah, we're doing some live knitting. What are you working on right now?
I'm just making this square.
Cool.
I guess you could imagine that I'm making the how to knit videos sweater in miniature. Maybe that's what I'll do.
The Princess Peach vest was kind of cool, Captain. I'm glad you pointed that one out, but I still don't know if I would wear it, honestly. Okay. So we've got 3 bits of software here that would also work with this sewing machine. Raku X Raku, Mission, Moji, and Kougyou.
Ooh.
I don't know what any of them are, but let's load them up and see what happens. So this is one I saw a preview image of. If you follow the how to knit vest, are you making official merch? I guess so.
Yes.
So this is dated a year before the Mario Family software. Oh boy. Buttonholes. I don't know what any of the other ones are, but this says buttonhole.
Let's try the first one. I would imagine this is standard.
Normal or combination.
Let's go with normal. Yeah.
Stitch picking.
Stitch picking. If you've ever used a sewing machine, this should look kind of familiar, and then we get into like the fancier ones. So.
Oh, pretty elaborate.
Yeah.
Dolphin!
Dolphin!
And duck. So what's combination then?
Oh, you can pick like
put 3 in a row.
Yeah. Different types of buttonhole. Is this name? Yeah, this is where you can enter text and make name labels.
So that's hiragana, katakana,
and
numbers and some kanji.
Yeah, because it's for making like kids stuff, right? It's for making like 3rd grade.
At school, and then kanji numbers, English letters. Pretty cool. I don't know what this is.
Is this for the size of the design?
The design of like the software is interesting. The colors and the patterns and stuff. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Game Boy Camera, which had a lot of weird screens.
Oh wow, this is for making your own pattern.
Pictures and stuff.
So that you can like draw kanji or whatever you want.
Wow,
fun?
That's pretty interesting. Design your own little stitch. So this is pretty powerful software, much more so than normal sewing machine software, I would say. My limited experience. Alright. Let's try another thing. So that was Rakuraku Mission. Rakuraku Moji. Oops, that's what? What does this one do? Captain loves the Game Boy camera. Yeah, it's pretty sick. Oh, it's kanji. This is also 2000. I have no idea.
Okay, I'm picking the direction.
Horizontal or vertical. Okay, we're writing.
Oh, so this is like character design. Like you can place different characters.
And this is again where you send the instruction to the machine. Captain says it's a bit rough to read.
Yeah.
Honestly, the background kind of does interfere with readability, doesn't it?
Yep.
So after a bit it gives up and you can go back. The interface is so much simpler with this one. A and B to navigate menus rather than the confusing one on the Famicom disk system where start was used a lot.
Yeah.
For multiple different things. So what's this?
I think this is for recalling designs we've made.
Also, it saves them to the cartridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. So there's
Turn
that
your
word,
machine off.
Machine again. Is machine how they would render for sewing machine? Which would
I think so.
Like machine.
Yeah.
That's weird. I don't know. All right, next one. So that seems a bit more specialized.
That's for like, yeah, writing.
This one is Kougyou. Kougyou. So it might have come with all three of these, or you would buy them separately.
I think it would only come with the first one.
Oh, so this is similar to the Mario one, but with more generic patterns.
Yeah.
Or like various patterns. For instance, a different dolphin with a big nose. What else do we have? Puppy dog wearing a beanie. Hamster or something. Unicorn. Or Pegasus, rather. Yep. Oh, bear with vest. Very cute. Tiger playing tennis.
Basketball.
This is also the bit that reminds me of Game Boy Camera because that had different stamps and things. Duck with top hat. Love that. Cat noticing fish.
That is so bad.
Dog standing up. Oh, that's the end.
Okay.
Again, 8 pages. There's some pretty cute stuff in there. What's the other one here?
This is like how to,
thing.
like a manual for how to set it up. So it's saying pull that out, and then, yep, I'm gonna put in the. Oh, we're gonna lift up the.
So you were watching something before, which was a YouTube digitization of a VHS, and if we go back to like the layout of what came with the machine, there was a VHS tape there. So that's an instructional tape.
That's the US version. So that's the Singer version. So anyone in the US, if you see this Bondi Blue sewing machine somewhere,
like an
snap it up.
That transparent colored thing. Very good stuff. And yeah, so this tape came with it.
Yeah.
Which is maybe a better way of telling you how to operate a sewing machine than this screen.
Yeah. But this is just telling you how to swap it out, like, for the embroidery bed. So it's like how to set your machine up for embroidery. Like, you're going to put your frame in the thing. I've never done machine embroidery, but it's also kind of cool in that you can do all this setup for your design on your Game Boy away from your sewing machine. So if you just want to sit on the couch, you could do it there rather than having to go to your sewing machine and enter it all there.
I'm trying to figure out what shoe means, but it's such a generic word. There's like 20 different definitions for it. It's such a generic like combination of syllables for a Japanese word. For instance, it could mean ugliness, shame, or disgrace. Or the Zhou dynasty of China. Oh, you know what? It probably means collection or compilation. Yeah, that'll be it. Captain says, if this came out today, you would have to unlock patterns by playing minigames or by sewing patterns.
Yeah, I feel like they would definitely have like unlocks. It would be so annoying. Yeah. I mean, there are kind of microtransactions now in the, like, if you get fancy sewing machines, you can buy more patterns and download them onto the machine.
Yeah, and your silhouette does that too.
Yeah, you can buy stuff for the silhouette.
I feel like selling these cartridges separately is also a form of microtransaction.
It's more like a macro transaction.
Yeah. 99 cents to unlock a Waluigi pattern. Yeah. Instant buy. Alright, what do you want to do next?
Do you want to play those itch games?
Sure. So I found some things as filler to play on the stream. Let me see. I'll put your hand cam back on as well. There we go. Oh, it's big. Still working, yeah? So I was reflecting on like other knitting themed games. These are more like pieces of software or applications that could be played in a game console. But there's games that have at least the aesthetics of Fibrecraft, like Yoshi's Woolly World, Kirby's Epic Yarn, Yoshi's Crafted World. Sadly, Princess Peach's Showtime does not involve this kind of art style. But there is another one recently that I found out about called Euphoria the Saga 2, which is a sequel to a SNES Hebedecker game, which was localized as Euphoria the Saga, which is why you will find it under that name now. But it's like another kind of Woolly World kind of thing, which is nice because that's a great way to make graphics for a game. But I didn't know of any other like retro games that had knitting as like a mechanic or even an art style. Something's going on with the webcam. It's like flipping. Maybe it's the motion sensor. Or maybe it's just the OBS preview. Yeah, look, see? It's like inverting itself every now and then. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Maybe I can get it to a bit more stable if I just put it up a bit more. Sorry if that is affecting anyone.
Yeah. Oh well.
There's a tilt sensor in this webcam, and
I can turn that off actually.
Oh.
Properties. Okay, now we're in tilt.
Cool.
Right. Okay, so yeah, I couldn't think of any other games that would be relevant to a knitting type thing, but of course on Itch you can find anything from indie creators along any kind of line. So I searched for knit there and I found a few nice little looking things. So this is Maxo Lib's game Knitten. It's labeled a strategy game. It's created in 1 week for the 1-Bit Jam. And there were other people involved as well, but it's on Maxolib's Itch page. So yeah, this is about a kitten rolling a ball of yarn. Which, again, relevant to stream happenings. Given you would have missed it, but my cat was actually featured on the camera before, which was nice.
Should I re-feature the cat?
Oh, she's back? Yeah, sure, why not? Now she's sleeping. Okay, tilt up. Yeah, there she is. Aww, sleepy kitty. So we can pick different screen colors. I don't like full black and white, so let's pick this nano one, which has a bit of a blue tinge. Okay, let's go. And we can just play a little bit of some yarn-themed games while you continue knitting until you're ready to stop. Okay, obviously I don't understand what I'm doing here.
Says you have to try and use up the yarn before getting to the goal.
Within the goal area, but the cat batted it back.
Yeah, so you're trying to not let it get to them. So you want to... No.
No?
You want to not get into the goal area. There you go. Until you've unwound the ball.
Right. Otherwise it's a little bit like a mini golf game or Kirby's Dream Course. Oh, didn't quite make it. So it feels like you have to be pretty precise. I do like the art style though. The heavy dithering to get more detail with limited colors. Obviously rendered things within that. I do like the soundtrack though. It's a little bit quiet. Turn that up. Yeah. Should be hearing some lovely meows. You won't get much of that from our cat. Yeah. She's not very vocal unless, like, a couple of times a day she really wants something.
Yeah.
And then it's an emergency. It must be rectified. I reckon the goal area should be bigger. Oh, so close. Wow. This was called knitting, but it doesn't have much to do with knitting itself. But at least it is a ball of yarn. Alright, you want to see what else I have?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Nib13 had created a game called Deer Sprint, which uses the appearance of a knitted jumper as the graphics of a platform. It's made in 2014 Christmas to test knitted graphic concepts. Okay, up and down. 1 second while I set up jointer key for that. Yes. So, wrong time of year, but the opposite time of year, in fact. Yeah. So this is in the tradition of Fair Isle ugly Christmas jumpers. Although it's quite beautiful, I think. It's a really cool idea. Just rendering stitches as pixels. Really, is what it's basically doing. But yeah, wrapping that up with the theme of the Christmas jumper and everything. I think it works really well.
Yeah.
Having moving things within that context is really interesting. I did play a game on stream once, ages ago. It was a mobile game called Voyager, which was like it was a spaceship game. You go high up in the air and avoid obstacles. But everything was made with felted materials. So they used felt making and not just felt, but like, what do you call it, where you like
Like needle felting?
yeah, needle felting.
Felted sculpture.
Yes, to make objects that they then filmed and turned
Oh
into
wow,
graphics,
that is cool.
which is, you know, more advanced than, or more involved in practical creation than something like this, which is rendering it digitally, or like Yoshi's Woolly World, which takes those aesthetics. They did make some real things for Woolly World, just like mock-ups or concepts, but all the graphics in the game are just rendered. Oh yeah, I forgot about duck. I should duck under obstacles. Captain says this should be the next Yoshi Woolly World game style. Yeah, or at least like one level or something. Unfortunately, like Crafted World was one thing that took it in a different direction. But yeah, like I said, now that same studio has made Princess Peach's Showtime, which I feel like is less ambitious aesthetically. But yeah, I haven't tried it yet. I haven't actually played Crafted World yet because we lent it to your sister and she's had it for ages. I don't know if she's completed it. I don't think so. But, like, she plays all kinds of like hardcore games now. I feel like she borrowed it when she was really a beginner gamer, and now she's like playing Baldur's Gate 3 and stuff. She's playing Dave the Diver. I don't know. Oh no! Oh wow, Captain's got a fair way into Peach. Showtime. I want almost all the content but haven't finished yet. And of course Epic Yarn is in that conversation as well. Kirby's Epic Yarn, the predecessor to Woolly World. Quite good. Both that and Woolly World had 3DS ports that kind of lost something because they didn't have the same level of fidelity for the crafted aesthetics on the smaller resolution screen.
I think this shows that you could do a cool crafted thing.
Yeah, because the resolution of this isn't very high.
No.
Which is a very short game, says Captain. Alright, I guess I'll finish this run. But we've got one more game that I picked out. And we'll see how your knitting progress is going.
Well, I'm doing the neck.
The neck of your tiny, tiny jumper.
Yep.
I guess it'll be a vest, because you haven't made sleeves.
Yeah, I guess unless I make sleeves, it's a vest. And so far, I've only made the front.
Ooh, Captain started a new Stardew Valley farm.
Ooh.
Modded. And that's all they've been playing. You can certainly lose a lot of time. Well, not lose, but you can spend a lot of time on Stardew Valley.
Yes.
We did that. We actually played it together before they had the co-op update implemented on console.
Yes.
So we would just trade off between us, or I would like...
You would do all the bind stuff and I would do all the farm stuff.
But there were times where you'd be like, when do I plant this or something? And I'd be looking things up on the wiki while she played. The play person and the research person.
Well.
Yep. Done. Alright. Last game. This is by Gumpy Function, who has made a lot of different Game Boy homebrew things using GB Studio. In fact, they're from Australia and a writer at GB Studio Central. So that's pretty cool. Very plugged in. But one of their first games down here, Nitwit, push block puzzle game made in Game Boy Color style.
I have seen about the new Stardew Valley update, but it is not out on console yet, and I only play it on mobile and console, so have not got the new content yet. Also, a lot of it I think is post-game content, and that would imply getting to the post-game, which I don't think I've ever done.
That's fine. Crikey dingo, mate. They're from Australia. Thank you for the local lingo, Captain. You've mastered it for sure. You're fitting right in. Obviously I don't have the right buttons set up here. A or Z? I should have Z. Yeah, there we go. Winter has truly come this year, so Mum, Dad, Nellie and Daisy have decided to make the most of it by holidaying in a quiet cabin in the snow. How's the serenity? Oh, that crunchy chip chew is loud. I called! A bit of shimmer on the graphics too. Oh well. Hold on, Daisy, I'll get a fire going. I just need to get some firewood ready. Hang on, I can zoom this in. Yeah, that's oh, too much. Yes, Mama, get firewood. So this is, I'm the baby, gotta love me. Struth. So, we are the mama? Not the mama. Don't open the fridge, there's some really stinky cheese in there. Sounds like a challenge. There's a penguin outside. Sweet, I gotta see this penguin. So this is a game about gathering yarn supplies so that you can make knitted textiles to keep your family warm. But to do so, you have to do block pushing puzzles. Okay. See, Captain actually likes stinky cheese. Is that a penguin or a Snorlax? Well, it is unclear, isn't it?
Porlax.
Yeah, it's Pokemon Infinite Fusion. They combined Ice-Q with Snorlax. Okay, I don't know what to do. Let's try talking to the other people in here. Mama, can you push my stool in, please? Teaching us block pushing mechanics. Thank you for pushing my stool in, Mama. Okay, well, we were interrupted last time, but now... Some blue cheese, yum! That cheese is making me gag. Better get some fresh air. Here we go. And just to be sure, we'll talk to Daddy. I called. Oh yeah, firewood. So that's a mechanic too, I guess. But the way it's introduced is that you need to find wool to knit them a jumper. Captain did not realize that Ice Cube was a pun. It does have an ice cube for a head. Oh no, poor guy. He threw up because of the smell of the stinky cheese. And
Oh
the penguin
no.
off. But he has cheese sickness, so he's unable to cut any firewood at the moment. Okay. I guess I did it off screen. Cool. He did not bring his jumper. Forgot to pack it. What a fool. They're all fools, even the baby. So
I feel like
now
it's
we
not
get
the
our
baby's
quest.
fault for not packing.
That's fair. That's totally fair. Yay, new jumpers! How quickly can you make a jumper?
By hand, it took me all summer to make one.
Mhm.
By machine, about a week. Depends on the size, though. That's to fit me.
What about my jumper?
Yours was about a week, I think. Maybe 2.
It's much larger.
Yeah, but on the machine, larger isn't so much harder.
How do I reset the room? Start, okay. Yes, please. I made a mistake. Now, I've played Conker's Pocket Tales, so I've had a lot of experience with block pushing puzzles. Captain would like to try using a knitting machine. Do you have advice for knitting machine purchasing?
If you're in the US, see if you can...
He's in Australia.
Oh, in Australia. Okay, so in Australia, see if you can get a Centro knitting machine off eBay is probably the cheapest way to go. They're about like $40, $50. They're round ones. Do not pay more than about $50 for one of those. Like, you can get them at like Limcraft and stuff like that. Do not pay more than $50. Those are plastic pieces of crap. You need to be paying prices for plastic pieces of crap. The next thing you do, level up from that, is to buy a Singer or a Brother machine off Facebook Marketplace, Gumtree, eBay. Probably Facebook Marketplace is your best bet. It should cost you about $200 for a basic one. In good condition. If you're mechanically inclined, you can buy one in bad condition and repair it. Unfortunately, in Australia, they don't sell new ones anymore, so you have to get the old ones.
Very sad.
Yeah.
So I did look a little bit for knitting games, but it turns out what I found, none of them have anything to do with the act of knitting. There's some knitting theming to the games, but yeah. While browsing, I did notice a few that might be more involved with the actual process, but they still, gamify it in various ways. I don't know what to do. What do you think?
You need to get that ball of yarn, so you got to push the chair out of the way.
I can't do that. I gotta put the ice in the hole so
Oh.
that I can walk over it. Oh, I only need to fill one hole though.
Yeah.
And this block will be stopped by that tree. So maybe we can do something with that.
Oh. And then can you push it down into the chair? And then across into the hole?
Ah. There we go.
Yeah.
I like how the rooms are themed. This one has a little kitchen in it.
They're
That's
like
cute.
cabin rooms. It's nice.
Captain thinks there might be a rhythm-based knitting game
Oh.
that exists. If you know the name of it, I could try and find it. Oh yeah, we're nearly done with this stream. Oops.
Don't want to make at least one jumper?
Oh, you want to keep going?
Yeah,
I can stall for time if you like.
I don't know. You can keep playing this block puzzle game as long as you want.
Okay.
They think one should exist, not that there is one.
Oh, yeah. Probably want this stool down there because I can just push that across. Oh yeah, that'll work. Oh no! Nuts. Why can Soccerbond people never pull something? I like the art style, that's very cute. Okay. So with that there, we should be able to... Oh, it doesn't move in half steps. So the stool is offset, but we can't move things in half steps. We can only move it in full steps. Oh, but if I push it all the way down, then the block will be on a half step when I push it there.
Yay! We made a jumper!
Off screen. So let's give it to Daisy, who I assume is this one. A dinosaur jumper.
I guess it was the baby.
The baby is Daisy. I got jumper! Thanks, Mama! Yay! Alright, maybe that's enough for that one. Okay. Let's see what else we can find. Search for knit. Ooh, knitting planner. There were some interesting, like, physical games. You can always find those on itch as well. Interactive fiction. I showed you this one, we couldn't quite figure it out.
Yeah, it's called crochet, but it's clearly knit.
Yeah, it's also an Android app, so yeah. What's this one? Crazy Scarf. Okay. Ah. Fall. Which is a verb. I have an excuse to make another scarf. Just like my grandma taught me.
My grandma tried to teach me, but she was right-handed and I didn't get it.
Q space P space. Okay. Sounds fun. It's like a dexterity test. Ah! See, I dropped my combo. How accurate is this to the act of knitting?
Compare the pair.
I did 3 rows. Alright. That's really cute. So that's by Nikki Kinikulich. Let's find another one. Captain had trouble with tension when learning to knit in high school.
Yeah.
You had trouble with that sometimes, didn't you?
Yeah, I tend to have problems where it's too tight.
Too tight, yeah. Oh, knit stories straight up. That's fun. Wait, that's misspelled. Okay. I want a game that's about knitting. Yeah, this is not it, I think. How fast can you knit a swatch? What do you reckon? Made by Zlinkus for Trijam 48. Knit Pearl Advance, okay. Ooh, what's a gotta stitch?
Knit. Just keep knitting.
Okay. Yeah, I'm knitting too. Hooray! Turn work for new row. Ooh. Stockinette. We talked about this. We got a knit and purl this time.
Yep. Knit all of this row.
Oh, and then purl the next row.
Mm-hmm.
I see, I see. Single rib.
Knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl.
Oh, this is testing motor skills.
Yeah, if only knitting was this easy. Okay, next row. You gotta knit into the knit and purl into the purl.
Oh, okay. What is it if you're knitting into the purl?
Seed stitch.
That might be next. Double rib. This is actually teaching me about like the style of some stitches, you know.
Yeah, you're learning things.
I am learning things. It's an educational video game. Seed stitch. Oof. Remember how I had to wear the wrist brace last week? Because I'd been using the keyboard too much. It's starting to feel like that again.
I think you do know how to triple rip. Process of deduction.
See, Captain's a smart cookie. Alright. Wait, what is this?
I think that's your score. You got 2 out of 6.
Oh, I only got 2 out of 6. Alright, that's okay, I guess. I did all the swatches. Where's that connected? Because... no. Okay, that was it. How you doing?
I'm okay.
Cool.
I've made the front.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm doing the back.
Ooh. So you need me to stall for more time?
No, we can stop if you want.
Okay.
If you want to give your wrists a rest.
It's been 2 hours. I think we could stop there. That's okay with you.
That's fine with me. I did the...
Great question, Captain. What type of stitch are you using for that?
So most of this is stockinette.
Mm-hmm.
And then up the top here, this is 1x1 rib. But then I've got a few stitches of stockinette on the sides, because if you imagine this is a very tiny jumper, this is the neck, and then this is going to be the shoulders where they attach. So I don't have a doll, but look, here's me knocking the camera. Here's a picture of Snow White. Here's the sweater on Snow White. You convinced?
I'm convinced. Full screen mode. Sorry, I should have done that a while ago.
It's
Good
the
stuff.
knitting.
And this was all using skills that you learned from I Am a Teacher.
No.
Teami no Kiso.
Nope. In fact,
No.
I learned all these skills from YouTube. Highly recommend YouTube. That's how much knitting I got done in 2 hours.
Yeah. Knitting's a marathon, not a sprint.
Unless you're doing a knitting competition.
Are there such things?
I don't know if there still are, but I saw there's some YouTube footage from the ABC. Have a look for it, of a knitting competition run by the run in like the 70s, where they had to like knit quickly but also precisely. So it's like a typing competition, but
oh yeah,
speed knitting. Yeah. Yep. And you look at them and they're like very fast. Well, is that it for the day?
I think so. Okay. Thanks for joining me.
No worries.
You made this really
weird?
No, like you legitimized it because you actually know so much about Fibrecrafts.
I do know some stuff.
You were able to really assess the software that we looked at today.
It's true, it was rubbish. Well, no, the pattern thing was fine. The first one, the Mario sweater one, that was fine. But the learn to knit thing, that was terrible.
Well, you know,
get a book from the library.
They could only work with the technology of the time.
Yeah, books. Much better.
Books are timeless. All right. Cool. Thank you.
No worries.
Hope you had an okay time.
Yeah.
Cool. And thank you for watching, you people. I'm now pointing at you through the webcam. There's my finger pointing at you. Yeah. Oh yeah, cat cam. It's not focusing on her. There we go.
Midna says bye.
We love you. Oh, she's sleepy. Oh yeah, she pressed the button. Okay, bye.
Bye.
I'll be back tomorrow with more Flash games. So this was just a bonus thing. Oh, she put her down to sleep. It's so cute. Oh my god. Okay, see ya.